You say you're nervous?
Yeah, it was like out of my element a little bit, but I was cool, you know, because I love movies, so you know what I mean.
What was the movie?
Nah, it was just like a Q and A, like they were just asking us like different questions about movies and TV shows. But I had fun. I definitely want to do it again.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With
I just
Sam, I know Sam is like the first one in here. I'm surprised he ain't here yet.
Yeah.
What up?
what's up,
Cruz
Bruce?
1212 was good. I haven't seen this cat in here before. There you go, Sam, Ronnie, what up?
Yeah, man. What's the 411? Beginning the hip hop soul right here.
Oh,
Yep.
So yeah,
oh,
man. So May and Sally and Tory Lanez thing is crazy.
oh,
Then
God. What happened now?
Ugh.
pretty much everyone's canceling Tory Lanez at the moment.
I mean, what he did was messed up. I mean, especially if that's your friend. I don't. Why would you want to do that to her? I don't
Mhm.
understand it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I just think that's. I never liked Tory Lanez personally. I never cared for his music. I just feel like, you know, if that's your friend, like, why you want to shoot your own friend? You know,
Yeah.
I think true friends go through arguments at times. Y'all might have disagreements. I went through it with friends, but never in my life have I ever thought about shooting my own friend.
No.
Especially
You
those
know,
people going
or
through shit.
I don't. I just don't understand that. I think that's crazy.
Speaking of Monica, I was actually gonna mention Monica too, but
Yeah.
she's in trouble with C Murder's family too.
Why?
Cause you remember so Monica and Kim Kardashian, they're trying to get C Murder out pretty
Uh-huh.
much.
Yeah.
And I was watching Impressive Channel, and they were talking about how they were giving the issue about C Murder and Monica's relationship, and you know how Monica recently got divorced and stuff like that. So she said she was trying to get C Murder out, and then Master P he felt some kind of way because he had C Murder because of the fact that he's over here trying to get him out and stuff like that. But at the same time, he feels that C Murder said that no one's been there for him, and Master P felt some type of way, and he just called C Murder ungrateful and stuff like that. And he's like, where were all these people that years ago? Why aren't you out right now and shit?
Well, see,
Mhm.
murder been in jail for like 20 years, right?
Yeah,
Does anybody think he's coming out anytime soon? I don't.
I mean, here's my thing. The way he got caught up by the system was fucked up. I'm not gonna lie,
Mhm.
but it's gonna. I'll be surprised if they do get him out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. I'm
Because
like, Master P is rich. All the money he throw to judges and lawyers ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna matter. Like if you did, he killed somebody, right?
no, no, because it was like a club fighting, and like I said, it was an incident at a club and shit like that, and some guy got shot, and C Murder was name was brought up, so that's why they after him.
But did it? Well,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
must
They
have
say
evidence
it's
from
connected to the murder of a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
they must have evidence on him for him to actually be in jail for 20 years, right?
because literally, like if you watch the No Limit Chronicles, they talk about the whole shit,
My
but
my thing is, you know, Monica dated him. Obviously, she still has feelings for him to help him try to get out of jail. Where's his family? Where's Silk the Shocker? Where's Romeo? Where's his family at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if they have evidence on him and he did the crime, that's why he's in jail for 20 years. Like why I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like keep the criminals in that actually did shit and release the ones that didn't do anything that are innocent but are
Yeah.
wrongfully. because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't care if C Murder was a regular average Joe on the street. If he did the crime, he do the time. It shouldn't be over. He's Masterpiece brother, and we trying to get him for what? If he actually did the crime, he should stay in there. Now, if he didn't do it, then that's a different story. Then you know what I'm saying. If he's wrongfully been convicted, then yeah, he should have been out of prison a long time ago. But if he did the crime, then he should stay where he's at.
Oh,
You know, I mean, you have people like John Forte who was locked up for like 14 years for liquid cocaine at the airport, having that on him. He learned his lesson, and it was Bush that gave him a pardon out of all people. Where was Wyclef? He never went to see him. Where was Lauren and Prods? Talib went to see him every day. That's why they're best friends. He said that on Talib's podcast. You know what I'm saying? And Forte learned from his mistakes. He was young and dumb. He got caught up with the wrong people, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
Sure. Yeah,
Have I been to Urban Plaza? Nah, I haven't been to Urban Plaza yet. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to Kobe.
all right.
yeah.
Bobby and Whitney or Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Really?
Oh, man.
Who asked that?
Bobby and Whitney was a train wreck, so I'm going with J and B.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be about 3 more minutes.
Great Kobe. He should still be here with us.
Yeah. Yeah, him and his daughter, Gigi.
Yeah, both of them. This whole year has been one to remember forever.
Oh, yeah.
You like your glasses, Reg?
Yeah, I'm reading something online too. That's why I'm wearing it.
Favorite song from Monica? Yeah, that's a good one.
Don't take it personal.
I love that. So gone. Love that song. First
Yeah.
night. The Boy's Mine. I like Monica got hits. I heard somebody say last night that they don't think she got 20 hits, but she got hits. She got 20.
If she plays that Space Jam song, it's a rap.
Hey, have I been to Brownsville?
Yeah,
Brownsville,
you I will.
Yes, I've been to Brownsville. I went to school in Brownsville. I had a godmother that lived in Brownsville. I stayed out there for a couple of months. I know Brownsville very well. Oh, You Walk Out My Life. Classic song.
Yeah.
And I like the Pete Rock remix for that.
But yeah, I got to agree. Brandy got this in the bag.
Oh yeah, I'm going with Brandy, but Monica got 20 hits. Definitely. That's gonna be a great battle for R&B. Great female battle. The genre.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been to LA? Not yet. I got family in Pasadena though, but I definitely want to go out there and visit. You been to LA, Reg or Ashley?
Nah.
No. Any plans on going to the West Side?
I mean, I've been to the West Side when I was young. I like those time before the year's over, you know. Besides all.
Oh yeah, you gonna plan on flying during COVID?
Maybe. Once my money is good.
I'm not doing it.
I'm gonna hold off on that until once there's at least a cure or vaccine or something for this. I don't plan on traveling anytime soon.
I like traveling. Like my grandmother had the grandchildren like travel at a young age. So like I was going to Canada. 'Cause I got family in Toronto. I was going up there, and I was like 5, 6 years old. You know, going to the Caribbean and stuff and places like that. So, You know what I mean? I love to always travel and see different places and see different cultures and all that. You know, I definitely want to go to the West Coast at some point.
I've been out to the
Alright.
Midwest, and
Yeah.
I pretty much traveled to certain states in the South, and also got family in
Right.
both those areas.
Let's go.
I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
Alright. What's up, you two? How's everyone
All
doing
right,
this lovely Sunday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homegirl Try with me. Got my
Well,
homegirl Ash with me.
let's get.
We're gonna review on Mary J. Blige's debut album, Mr.
and
Cold.
the remix. We will be mentioning the remix album. Don't forget.
Yes, we're gonna mention
Yes.
the remix album too.
I got the remix album.
You said what?
I ain't got that remix album.
It's out of print.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
This guy should have it.
Yeah, this album was released in 1992 on Uptown under MCA. Singles albums known for are Real Love, Reminisce, Love No Limit. What's the other single? God damn it. What's the other single? Sweet Thing and You Remind Me. Producers include Puffy, he's the executive producer, Devontae Swain, Tony Dofat, Dave Jam Hall, Mark Morales, and Corey Rooney. And guest appearance on the OG version of the album is Busta, KC of Jodeci, and Graham Puba. Alright, so we already talked about who Mary J. Blige is from the Mary album. We already talked about all of that and shit like that. But yeah, man, like this whole album's impact. You know, this is like around the time when Puffy was really like getting a whole foot when it came to Uptown Records. You know, he already worked with Jodeci, and you basically just redefined Mary J. Blige's sound, like style wise. Like he was really instrumental in pretty much like how they dress and stuff like that with the baggy stuff and the baseball hats and shit like that. Yeah, man. Definitely an influential album when it comes to R&B and hip hop too. You know, this was
Yeah.
pretty much one of the beginning of the hip hop soul genre and stuff like that. And yeah, man. Like, look at the fucking album cover right here. Fucking dope album cover just has Mary just chilling and shit like that. You know, her eyes kind of blocked and shit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Very very dope shit right here. Got a track listing right there. That's like one of my favorite pictures of Mary too. So. Alright, so this album has about
12.
12 tracks. Let's get this shit started. Track number one, we got is the Leave a Message. This is pretty much an intro. A lot of cats in the 90s love doing this, have the answer machine of all the artists. All the artists giving giving Mary J. Blige some love and stuff like that. Like you got like Sherman, Biggie, and so on and so on. So that's the best way to describe the track.
Yeah, man. This was a dope way to to start the album off, and um it was unique at that time, and to have like Clark Kent call in, and Christopher Williams, who was also on the Uptown MCA label at that time, and Andre Harrell, the boss, call up and Red Alert Call Up, who was like a famous DJ from back then, and Puffy calling in and telling Mary like, yo, you gotta, where you at? You pick up the damn phone. You got a studio session, and I
Mhm.
loved it. It was you could hear like there's like somebody like playing back the voicemail messages, and I'm assuming it's Mary like breathing over the phone, and she's like listening to messages. And the remix album had the same intro, but it's different people on that version. Like you had Biggie on there, you had Martin Lawrence, who was big
Yep.
at that time with the Martin sitcom. Love that show. You had who else was on that? Casey from Jodeci was on that. Puffy, of course. You had Butt Naked Tim Dog. So it was good, like a unique way to start the album off and get people ready for her debut, and I liked it, man. It was dope, dope. A nice break beat as well, like the beat playing in the background was dope, and yeah, like that's you already knew like the type of vibe Mary was gonna bring, so I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Yeah, Leave a Message was a very unique way to start off the album. Of course, pretty much a whole bunch of well-known people in the music industry pretty much um, leaving messages on Mary's answering machine, pretty much letting them know that they in their corner, that they proud of her. Yeah, that was definitely different. Good way to start the album.
Yeah, I definitely see what y'all saying and shit like that. And this leads us into track number two, Reminisce. Love this track right here. Just those piano keys and whatnot. Very, very, very dope track. Just vocally one of my favorite timeless tracks off this album.
I remember like always. I think the very first time I saw this video was on Video Music Box with Ralph and Daniels, and um, I remember like watching it, and it was real sultry and melodic, and seeing Mary walking in on the video, and like she sang it beautifully. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it was like a real one of those like quiet storm tracks. After midnight,
Right.
and she's like telling her man, like, come on in, my sweet. How have you been? You're so nice. But tonight we're gonna be more than just friends, and really sexy, beautiful track. Mary killed it. This is one of my favorite Mary songs of all time. The remix had CO Smooth was on the remix for that.
Yeah.
I know there's one remix. I know there's more than one remix. There's one with CO Smooth, and there's another one. I forgot that beat for that remix, but there's more than one remix for Reminisce. But the CO Smooth one was dope. It was more danceable, but it had like the same melody, but it was like the drums were different on that track. I believe Pete Rock did that one too, if I'm not mistaken, because that was on there was a Pete Rock remix. I don't know if it was an official remix album, but it was like a Pete Rock like compilation with like all his like greatest remixes, and they had the Reminisce remix on it with CO Smooth, so that was a great remix, and definitely a classic love song, and I love it, man. It's one of my favorites on this album.
Yeah, man, I highly agree with you. I never knew there was two remixes of this song. To be real with you.
Yeah. I know there was another one I heard.
Yeah, my first time hearing Reminisce, I guess it was on the radio one day. And even though I hadn't seen the video, I pretty much got what the message of the song was about, pretty much reflecting on the moments that were shared between Mary and I guess whoever her significant other was. And it's another one of those it's one of those relatable songs for anyone who always reminisces about, I guess, past relationship with someone that I guess meant a lot to them, and that's what pretty much I got out of the song.
Same, same. Definitely hear you about that. Next track we got is Real Love. I mean, do I need to say more about this track right here? This is just the song that really put her out there. Every time you hear that, like it's something very different from like the New Jack Swing era and whatnot. It was more grown, more sexy and shit. So yeah, this was a very, very, very dope track. I love this track. Low key, I'm more of a fan of the remix more with Biggie,
Yes,
especially
yes,
when they had that Betty White sample that
right,
dun. Yeah, man, definitely, definitely love this joint right here. It's a classic.
yes. And it's like yeah, like on the remix you got Ron G, legendary DJ,
Yes,
opening that track off, and you got Biggie kicking his lyrics. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's Mary J. Ain't a damn thing changed. Love that. Great remix. I remember like this was my introduction to Mary. It was the "You Remind Me" track in Real Love, and I actually bought the Real Love cassette single where she's like on the wall. She got like the old denim on. It's like an orange background, and I
yeah,
played that together. And then like actually going to see her that same summer. That's what made me buy the. I actually got the album for Christmas, but that's what made me get the cassette single and had the remix on there as well. And there's another version of this. It's just with the break beat, and it's just like it has like the break beat and like the Go Brooklyn sample. Go
yeah.
Brooklyn. Yeah, that was on side B of the cassette single for Real Love. And I remember like when she was performing this at the concert, and she had the same outfit on that she did in the video with the white baseball cap to the back and the white blazer and the pants to match and the bustier or whatever, the halter top, and it was great. And just that piano loop is infectious. That's really the star of the track. And it's like I like the way that they did the piano loop. It's like a cadence where it's like a note that keeps going up. I love that shit. Love that. And when that comes on, everybody knows that song. Like she don't even gotta sing. You could just hear that piano, and everybody knows that song. I seen Alicia Keys one time play that at like a concert she was doing, and she killed it. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine like a rendition of Mary and Alicia Keys doing Real Love. Like I think that would have been a great combination. And it's a dope break beat, a dope bass line on it. And she's saying, when I met you, I just knew that you would take my heart and run until you told me how you felt for me. You said I'm not the one. And, just talking about, a guy that she likes and she wanted to know if it's real love or if he's like playing games with her. And I love that song. That's a classic Mary, top 3 classic Mary songs of all time, in my opinion. And yeah, man, this is great. The remix is just as great with Biggie Smalls. Rest in peace to him. So
Yes.
yeah.
Real Love, the first time I heard this song, I pretty much remember watching the video, I think on VH1 Classic at the time. That was my introduction to Mary with the video and everything. Of course, once you hear that piano loop, you already know the song already because it's just so infectious and such an unforgettable song. And I remember hearing the remix of this song when I back when I was in college. Sometimes during like certain basketball games or football games or certain 1040 breaks on campus. Yeah, yeah, that was my first time ever hearing the remix during those times. But yeah, Real Love is such a classic song. Of course, this song was really what really introduced everybody to Mary, and from then on, her career just skyrocketed afterwards.
Mhm.
Such a timeless and unforgettable song that'll never get old to me.
Yeah, I definitely
And
agree. Uh,
I used to see like and that look that she had in the video with the Doc Martens and the baseball jerseys and the fitted to the back that look is iconic. I used to see that look in like hip hop magazines all the time, and a lot of women trying to pull off that look. You know how hard it is to dance, get alone walk in Doc Martens. They wasn't like Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? And the dance moves that Mary was doing with those dances in that video near the bridge, that like she killed it. That's like an iconic video.
yeah, I agree with you about that. How she definitely did a thing on that video and that look too.
Yeah,
And stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, track number four, "You Remind Me." Again, another dope classic track right here. This was on the Strictly Business soundtrack. Love the usage of those that Biz Marquee sample and shit like that. Yeah, man, another vocally dope track. You know, with that her vocals are definitely true star of this track right here. Very dope shit.
yeah, definitely. Another classic track. The beat was knocking, real melodic, and I love that chorus. I saw you before, baby. It's a deja vu, honey. I love that shit. And yeah, this was the first time I really heard Mary. But I used to hear this song, and I didn't know who it was. I know, and I kept hearing it on the radio, and there was no video for it at that time. And then I saw the video, but the video was the remix. Like there's also a remix for this with Greg Nice from Nice and Smooth
Yep.
was on the remix for that. I like the remix, but I prefer the original version because I like the bass line for it, and like the remix don't have that same bass line. But it's a classic track, and definitely another banger from Mary. So she killed it, and just talking about a guy that reminds her of someone, and we've all been there where you might meet somebody along the way in your life and be like, oh, you remind me of my ex, or you remind me of this girl that I used to know in school or whatever. And, it's like deja vu, you know what I'm saying? And I love it,
Right.
man. Great track.
You remind me, even though it's not a favorite of mine, it took me a while for it to let it grow on me. And yeah, I agree with what Tribe was saying. Like when you do listen to this song, it's kind of like it'll have you remembering, I guess, running into someone who reminded you of someone you probably knew from years ago or something like that. But it's still a good song.
Definitely.
Definitely another dope classic banger and shit. All right, so next track is "Intro Talk." This feature just Busta Rhymes talking, and then he drops a few bars and stuff like that. Yeah, man, like Busta Rhymes. This is when he was still on Needles with the New School, so his star was rising up around that time too and shit. So I like this. It was something unique and shit.
And this was like I don't think leaders had broke up. Yeah, right. It was still together.
Nah, they were still together.
So this was like the second album Buster, like time the Inner Mind's Eye Buster
Yep.
on this track, and Buster sounded like he was about to break a full 16 on this track. Like he went like full Dungeon Dragon mode on this short skit. You know what I'm saying? And he was energetic, and Missy did that as well for I want to say it was the So Addictive album she had him on it.
Super duper fly.
Super Duper Fly, right? Yeah, he did a skit on Missy first debut album, and he killed it. And he's just talking and showing support and love for Mary. And when you hear Buster on somebody's debut album like that, it's official because he's not gonna do nothing whack. And I liked it. I thought it should have been long. I wanted to hear him actually do like a full 16 bars, but the beat was cool, and the bass line was knocking, and I like it. It was a nice little skit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about like that should have been a full on collab between
Yeah,
Busta and Mary, in my opinion.
definitely.
Intro talk. It was something I wasn't expecting. I really didn't think Busta Rhymes would ever appear on Mary J's debut album. I felt like that was so different. But yeah, he killed it right here. But yeah, even though it was like briefly short, it just seemed like you wanted more because it kind of had me like anticipating, like had suspense building up. Like, okay, I thought he was gonna come out and do his thing like he always does.
And we don't get a Buster and Mary collab till Genesis, so we have to wait till what 2000 to get that.
Oh wow.
You know,
Crazy.
she's on the Genesis album.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my thoughts on that album one day.
Reggie ain't like it.
No, I never really cared for Genesis like that, but like I said, I'm gonna re-listen to it one day.
Yeah.
All right, so that was intro talk. Then we're gonna get into the cover of "Sweet Thing" from Shaka Khan, or Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. Um, my opinion, very very dope covers track of this. I've heard this track covered a lot of times and stuff like that, and I really feel like this track was important because it really bridged the gap between hip hop and soul and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With this nice hip hop groove and shit like that. Yeah, Mary definitely did a thing with this one. Even Shaka Khan liked the cover so much and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, because I've heard a lot of people cover this track and they be over singing it a lot. Like, for
Yeah.
example, I remember in Medea's Goes to
But
Jail
did
play with
go to jail, yeah.
Cheryl Pepsi Riley. Dope
Hmm.
singer. I like Cheryl, but she oversang the song towards the end. I'm just like, okay, girl, okay. Like, 'cause like something about cover songs, they always want to sing it like the original version, but at the same
Hmm.
time, they don't add their own thing to it. That's kind of the issue I have with it. But
Mm.
and she's not the only one because there's other motherfuckers that kind of butcher the song too. It's like with certain R&B tracks like Patti LaBelle's "If Only You Knew," Luther Vandross "A House Is Not a Home." When motherfuckers cover that song, that's like one of the songs I be getting tired of niggas covering and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think.
Especially,
Huh?
especially if only you knew. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh.
I think Mary killed it. Like, and she, you could say that she's covered um renditions in the past, like I'm going down and deep inside, and I think she can definitely kill a rendition. This was a great rendition. I used to hear my mom plays when I was younger around the house, and the Shaka Khan original, and Mary killed it. A beautiful voice, nice beat, nice bass line. It was really she put her own little spin on it, but she definitely killed it. You know what I'm saying? And we've heard like when people like the legendary Whitney Houston can take Dolly Parton's song "I Will Always Love
Hmm.
You" and better than Dolly Parton. And then we've heard where you take a Prince song like the beautiful ones that Mariah did with Cisco. I personally didn't like that one. I thought the Prince one is way better. I
Yeah.
Of
don't
course.
think, and Mariah is a diva, and she's a
Mhm.
great singer. I don't like the rendition that she did for that with Cisco on it.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? So we've seen the good and the bad when it comes to rendition songs, doing cover songs. It's a thin slope that you walk on when you do another artist cover, especially when it's a big hit like that. So I think Mary killed it just as good as the original. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, another classic track. The remix also was done by Rashad Smith from Tumbling Dice. He did joints like doing it the remix for LL Cool J. He did Making Moves Apart from the Craig Mack album, the first Project from the World. So I like the remix for that because it had like it's still melodic, but it has like a more banging beat behind it. More the hi hats were knocking for that. But just a great rendition by me.
I agree.
When it comes to certain artists doing renditions of classic songs from the 70s, 80s, and so on and so on. It really just comes down to who can execute it perfectly without going over the top and doing it vocally. And Mary's rendition of Sweet Thing proves that. I mean, what song that she's covered that she can't do? She already proved that with what Try mentioned already. I'm Going Down, and I know on her My Life Act One album, I know she did a rendition of Shaka's Ain't Nobody. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
Time and time again, Mary has already proven that she can do
Oh yeah,
what she does and still make it as if it was her own.
definitely.
And
I agree.
yeah, she performed Sweet Thing perfectly.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, now Love No Limit. Oh my god, my favorite, my favorite track off this album, in my opinion.
Reg always talked about this song.
Always,
Hmm.
always talk about this song. Like,
Yeah,
and like I said, like this is just like a very different song compared to the rest of the album because of the fact she went for like a more jazzier feel to it, and that beat, oh, that beat by who produced this shit?
Yeah.
Oh, Jam Hall produced this shit. Oh my, okay, yeah, that figures.
yeah.
That beat so fucking ill, like dun 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 dun
Mhm.
dun dun dun. I'm just like, okay, this shit hot, this shit hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And man,
Woo.
it's such a smooth ass, sexy ass beat on some real shit. And yeah, man, and that was
Mhm.
like the last song they did for the album too, and shit like that. Also,
Yeah.
we didn't mention Kenny Green because Kenny Green, he definitely did his thing of intro. When it
Right.
comes to songwriting, he definitely did his thing with this one and shit like that too.
Definitely.
So yeah, man.
Mhm.
Very, very, very dope song. Like just those first notes, like baby, there's no need to tell me as far as I can go when you come. Like, oh my god, just the way she was singing reminded me a little bit of a mixture of Billie Holiday and Anita Baker and stuff like that. I'm just like that shit right
Yeah.
there is hot. My favorite track off this album. Period.
Definitely. And you know, yeah, this was a real jazzy song, real melodic, and Mary sang it beautifully. Dave Jam Hall, he's a legendary producer also that don't get enough credit for R&B. You know, he's done Dream Level for Mariah Carey. He did intro Let Me Be the One. You know, did a lot of stuff from that first intro album. You know, and definitely a nice beat. I love the remix though. I think I love the remix a little bit more than the original with Casey, and she got like the Mary Jane is the Mary Jane sample or the Rick James sample. I always get
Yeah,
confused between it.
I want to say this was a Mary Jane Girl sample.
Right, and you have Casey. Casey is singing on the chorus and doing the background vocals on the remix, and that's the remix. I think they actually played more on the radio like a single, but
Yep.
she don't have no video for the remix, but there's a video for the original version. But the remix was dope. That definitely a more hip hop influenced track, and I like both versions. Both versions are fire, and you know, yeah, another classic hip hop Mary.
I agree.
Yeah. I'll admit, Love No Limit is definitely on my list of favorite songs by Mary J. of all time as well. I remember watching the video and it that video was dope though. Like,
Black and white.
yes, yeah. Because it reminded me of something like one of those old movies from like the 40s or something when she
Right.
did that.
Hmm.
And yeah, Love No Limit is definitely one of those songs that I'll never get tired of as well. it was just something about it, like vocally, it just, yeah, definitely like what Reg was saying. I could definitely tell like she was kind of like channeling a little bit of Anita Baker in her voice when she was singing it. I could definitely tell. And this song, along with so many of her other ones, that still gets played on the radio to this day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The video had like a
Another
Cotton
time.
Club type of feel, so
Yeah, it did, it did.
Yeah, man, like definitely very, very dope track and shit like that. One thing also about this song too, when it came to the remix and stuff, like I've noticed the remix when they played the remix on that BT Awards tribute and shit like that. I know a lot of people have been bumping that lately and shit
right,
like that. You know, like a resurgence of popularity, in my opinion. I don't know if it's just me, but
right.
something that kind
Yeah,
of
I
jumped
mean
out.
it's been so long since you. I've never seen a and I've seen Mary in concert 3 times. I never heard her do the remix. It's always been the original version, or she didn't perform it at all. But I think because like people haven't heard it in such a long time, they forgot how dope it was.
Right. When I'm loving you every day. Ah, come on, that shit timeless as fuck.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have I don't want to do anything featuring KC.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys remembered my review
Mm.
Mary, I pretty much hinted that I did not really care for this track,
Mm,
believe it or not.
mm,
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just felt it was a bit too long. Almost 6 minutes. Uh,
right.
if I wanted a track like that, I would
Yeah.
have just bought my life album, in my opinion. But I did like the performance they did on the
Oh,
Unplugged,
so,
the
oh,
Uptown Unplugged shit.
yeah.
That's the only time I would tolerate this song. But other than that, I never really cared for this track. And I like KC. I love Mary, but yeah. And according to Mary, this was the track that pretty much led to her work on the My Life album and shit. And it's quite evident too, which that
Right.
review um that review's gonna come. That's all I want to say about that.
I mean, yeah, Mary was at that time we knew like through the gossip on the radio and the magazines that Mary was dating KC from Jodeci. She was heavily in love with them. We knew what it was. They sang, they did duets together. I think it was a beautiful duet with them. I remember the unplugged performance and seeing them together and performing, and it was real intimate. And that's when people really knew like, yo, like this is, they're going together. They're a couple. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. I thought the chorus was nice, beautiful ballad. Casey is a great singer, very underrated in my opinion. I thought it was a good song. The remix is just as long as the original version. The remix is 6 minutes and 21 seconds. So
Jesus.
if you don't like the original, you're not gonna like
Oh
the
God.
remix. So it's just as long. But I thought it was a nice collab with Casey and having the two label mates do something together and as well, and they were going out together at the same time, sort of like Biggie and Faith on the same label, and they collaborated, with
Mhm.
each other. And so I thought it was dope.
Mm.
Sure, and I swear, whenever
Yeah.
whenever it comes whenever it comes to one of Puff's artists and shit, all them motherfuckers falling in love with the same label and shit.
Mhm.
Cause didn't one of the Total Girls had a relationship with Puff or Mace or something like
What?
that? I could be wrong.
I know Keisha is Omar Epps' baby mama.
Wife.
Like they're together. Yeah, they got kids together. I don't know
Oh,
about Kima and Pam. I don't know about them. There was always rumors about Pam being a lesbian anyway, but I never heard
Uh,
the thing with about Mason, so that's news to me.
yeah, I could be
mm.
wrong though, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah. I don't want to do anything. I gave this song a chance. I really couldn't get into it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, with Casey and Mary, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're very much, I guess, in sync when they sing together. But it's just that I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I feel like the song was too long, and I just felt like I just kept thinking like, when is it gonna end?
Right.
Because it's like I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know if one of them was like I don't know. Hearing it, it kind of sounded like one of them was like pleading or begging throughout the song, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like just give it a rest already, because I can't take no more of this. Yeah.
And yeah, I see your point, Ash, because usually I don't mind a long song as long as it's good. Like for example,
Yeah.
I hate songs that was like 15 minutes and shit like that. Yeah. Hold on, let me talk to my friend right quick. Y'all go on without me.
All right.
Um, this is what happens. You fall in love, you want decided to work together. We seen Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that happens, you know what I'm saying? So I think they made, I wouldn't have mind back then if they said like, yo, we're gonna do a Mary and Casey album together. I think that would have worked. I think they would have went multi-platinum with that. Jodeci was at the height of their career at that time in '92. So was Mary. They were both on the same tour that I saw my first ever concert. Seeing both of them on the same tour, they killed it. I think if they did a collab album, I mean, I never heard the duet album with Kenny Lattimore and Shantae Moore. They were
Yeah, they
going
put
together,
two of those collab albums out.
right? And they wasn't they married already, or they were going together when they did those?
Well, the first one they weren't. I don't think they were married at the time.
Mm,
But the covered and uncovered album, they were still married.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Bobby and
Yeah.
Whitney, they did something in common. Great
Yeah.
Sorry
song
about that.
from the Bobby album.
Yeah,
So, this is what it is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying, Isaac Hayes made songs that was like 15 minutes and shit like that. For the
I
most
was
part,
about
I was
to
always
ask you,
doing things like that.
but he made classic 15-minute songs though. You know what I'm saying? Like Hot Buttered Soul, that's like what, 4 songs, and they're long as hell, but that's a
Mhm.
classic album.
Yeah. I remember when y'all mentioned it.
Yeah, you can't even call that an album. It's like an EP, but it's classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's now, hey man, it's an album to me. If it's longer than like 40 minutes or longer than at least 35, I consider it an album and shit.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was
I don't want to
you
do
know,
anything.
yeah, I don't want to lose today. Then we're gonna get to Slow Down, which I consider Slow Down to be the obligatory sex track and shit like that. Maybe like the obligatory I'm gonna turn my man on track and shit like that. Pretty solid track. The beat definitely sounds like something you would hear from a lot of Uptown Records artists around that time. I can picture Christopher Williams
I'll
probably
be
on the
sure.
track too and shit. You said
Yeah,
what?
I'll be sure.
I'll be sure.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Also, one more thing about I Don't Want to Do Anything. Shout out to Devontae Swing because he produced that track too. But yeah, Slow Down
Yeah.
definitely is a decent song.
Yeah, it was dope. I like it's real melodic. Another like after midnight type of song, Quiet Storm type of track, and real nice bass line, real nice beat. And Mary basically, singing to her man like, slow down, don't be so anxious to get the ass, let's take our time, let's do a little bit foreplay, you know. We got the whole night. I mean, that's basically what she's singing. We got the whole night to explore each other. We ain't gotta be rushing, and she don't want no quickie. She want like a couple of good hours with her boo, and that's how I took it as, and I loved it. I think it's a real sensual song from Mary. You know what I'm saying, that we don't normally hear from her, but it's a dope song. I like it. So yeah,
Mhm.
solid cut.
Yeah. Slow down. It was an okay song to me. I got pretty much what the message was saying. Like, pretty much, I'm sure a lot of women feel the same way if they, excuse me, with a man late at night or whatever, and then you already know what's gonna happen, and it's like, okay, yeah, don't be like in a rush. Just take your time with me, like it ain't a marathon. Like, we got all night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to pretty much
I'm
explain
playing.
this
I'm
track.
playing stupid. What's gonna happen, Ash? Like, what happens in those situations?
What?
Like,
What?
when you say we already know what's gonna happen, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, explain to us what's gonna happen.
Di- you already know what's gonna happen. It's late
I
at
know.
night. You know, with your significant other, whoever. You already know what's gonna happen. Like,
I know. I just want to see what you was gonna say though.
that's it.
Shit. Anyway, so that was Slow Down. Then we're gonna get into My Love. This was another single from the album. Pretty solid track right here. With this track, she's pretty much talking about her ex lover, and stuff like that. And he pretty much felt like he wants to start over with Mary and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a pretty dope track. Another song co-written by Kenny Green and Dave Hall. Rest in peace to Kenny Green, by the way. Also, Heavy D, he also did some writing on this track
Yes.
too. So rest in peace to Heavy D as well too. So
Oh,
pretty track.
I love the remix. The remix was done by Teddy Riley. This was what this was like nothing but love. Heavy D at this point. I love the remix. He definitely killed it. Rest in peace to him. The original joint was fire. I like the beat for that as well. You know what I'm saying? I can't really decide if I like the remix or the original more, but both of them were fire. This is what Mary did on a regular basis. When people give Mariah all the props for her remixes, they forget Mary was the one that was doing that before Mariah, and she was killing both
mm-hmm.
remixes and original versions to all of her hits. So let's not give Mariah all the props over remixes because Mary could definitely compete with her when it comes to remixes. But I liked it. Definitely a classic track. And yeah, man, another solid cut.
Yeah, my love. It's another one of those songs that it kind of had to take me a minute, let it grow on me. But yeah, I could definitely relate to some of those and whatnot because it makes you wonder, like whoever, like a man or woman who was with, and you always wondering, okay, what they gonna do without me and the love that I gave them. They
Right.
gonna never find anyone like whoever, That's what I
Yeah,
pretty much got out of the song here. Yeah, there's always people who I guess leave someone and then end up going to be with somebody else,
Mhm.
but then after that relationship ends up failing, and the man or the woman or whoever decide to want to come back and start over. I'm like, really?
Right.
Mhm.
Didn't
And,
work
and,
out. Didn't work out for you that much, then, huh? Want to
and,
come right
and,
back? Yeah, I never understood that. I still don't to this day.
and Mary
Yeah, like,
was
what do you
like,
get out of that? Like, oh,
yeah, Mary was like sounding real sassy on that song, the way she was
hmm
singing it to, like, like her ex, like, you're gone now. What you gonna do without my love? You ain't gonna find nobody better than me. So she sang it with like some
hmm
attitude, man. I like.
Right.
yeah, that made me. It's that reason why it's so relatable. It's kind of like you could hear and feel her pain or feel whatever emotions that was going through Mary in the song, and you'd be like, oh yeah, I could definitely relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I definitely see what definitely y'all saying. Like I can definitely hear the sassiness in
Yeah.
her verse as well too. So yeah, definitely dope
hmm
pick with last single. Next song, Changes I've Been Going Through. Again, this is probably a song I like, but it's not like one of my all-time favorites. I'll go back to and shit like that. I love the usage of that Biz Markie drum sample. I want to say that's from Make Your Music with Your Mouth Biz. I want to say, um, yeah, definitely very solid cut right here. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Classic joint. Mary singing over a dope boom bap type of beat, 80s type of break beat, and I heard so many people over this beat. Like I heard Nas do a freestyle over this beat, and he killed it. This is like Escobar Nas, like from 90s, 95, 96. And Mary killed it. It's like I like the melodies that comes in on the track like later on, but the melodies are not really like the beat itself is like the key factor in this song and why it works for Mary. Like comparing the break beat and her vocals, that's what really makes this song like so dope. Like she didn't even need like no piano keys or nothing else on it, just like the dope break beat and her voice, and it still would have been a hit. And she says, see, I didn't want to ever hold you back, but still I need some affection. Was it this hard to show me some attention? Like just singing to her man, like yo, like you, why was you ignoring me? Like she wanted affection, and he wasn't giving that to her, and you know, she started realizing like yo, like her mind started telling her like yo, like I'm going through changes, I'm feeling a different way about your ass. Maybe it's time to see, to end this relationship and start fresh. And I definitely, this one of my favorite tracks on here. There's also a remix on the album, but I didn't care for the remix. I think like the original version was better. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely a solid cut.
Yeah, changes I've been going through. It's again another one of those songs that I feel people can relate to because I mean throughout the song you could definitely tell even just in the way Mary's singing. It's like yeah, yeah, you definitely can relate to the situation she is in, going through changes about whether or not to continue on in the relationship that you're in with this person. You like, do you still want to make it work, or you just want to end up calling it a day?
Right.
Pretty much.
yeah, pretty much. And the last track off this album is the title track, "What's the 4-1" featuring Grand Puba. This is like my second favorite track off this album and stuff like that. Pretty much this track right here is a classic. I to this day I still remember when I saw that Yo TV rap performance and shit like that.
Yes,
And Puba wearing that fresh Tommy Hilfiger. Like he, in my opinion, he stole the show off
definitely.
his off his fucking song and shit like that. He definitely stole the show and stuff. He said this one dope line where he said, "Hold on." He said, "If I see some rugged joints, then I won't let it pass me. I take no shorts, let a sucker step up to me. I flip the script and get harder than Jeopardy. I shot the ship and the motherfucking deputy test me. Check it out, I'm not he swept, but bet that ass that I can make it last." Like, and just his metaphors, the way he places his rhymes was just so unique and shit like that. Definitely so unique and things of that nature and shit like that. I never felt Puba when he came to flow and punchline. I never felt like he got the props he deserves at time when it came to that department. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Mary J did a thing on this song too. And they also, Mary also returned the favor with the Check It Out track from the, of
Yes,
course, the
classic.
Real to Real album, which is definitely a classic album. So
Yes.
very, very, very dope track right here. Very dope track. Nice way to end off the album.
You already know how I feel about that album. It's an underrated classic. I don't care what Dante Ross says. He didn't like what I had to say, but I'm saying it's a classic album. And check that review me and Reg did a couple months ago, because I
Right.
definitely have to do that. I don't see nobody mention Grand Puba first solo album. That's a classic hip hop album, classic boom bap album. He's always been an underrated lyricist. He was always my favorite in Brand Nubian. I know people love Sadat X and Lord Jamal, but I think Grand Puba really was the star of Brand Nubian in my opinion. But um definitely a classic track. I remember seeing that Young TV Raps performance when they showed it, and they even back then there was rumors that Pooh and Mary, is there something going on, because he was on her album and she was on his, and um Definitely a dope beat. The bass line is melodic. Puba's kicking lyrics like I'm Puba on this here, the nigga from last year. The boat's hanging baggy, Tommy Hilfiger top gear. Take no shorts, I'm doing lovely in all sports. Even swing the pole at the hole on my golf course. And then Mary comes back, letting him know that she's not no run of the mill chick. You're gonna have to really get her respect or to get with you or even give you the number. And she says, so if you with it, then drop the 7 digits and I might just give you a call. If you ain't with it, then don't waste your time at all. Fire. And I don't know who wrote Mary's lines, but if it was Poopa, then he definitely gave us some dope ass bars. You ain't never hear Mary rap like that in your life. You know what I'm saying? I loved
Right.
it. The remix now is even just as dope. They got the
Oh my
notorious G on there, right? And he uses the same verse from I'm just playing, and when he says even groups like SWV or TLC can see Big with telepathy, that joint definitely a dope ass beat. I used to play the remix and the original at the same time because I was like I love both of them, so I can't make up my mind which one I like. But definitely the What's the 411 remix with Biggie is fire. That's one of the best remixes on that remix album. You got Puffy in the background saying these little, take that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But definitely a great remix and great joint with Grand Puba. And I wish they had did a video for that, but definitely a great song and a great way to end the album. So.
yo. I know Puffy. He had to alter his voice to make him sound kind of like George Clinton.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah, cause it's like sped up, yeah,
yeah. Which I to be honest, I really did not even mind it and shit like that.
right.
Cause
He's
you
like,
know,
I'm
like
a bad boy, I'm a bad boy. You know what I mean? It just
yeah,
sounds like a 12-year-old kid or
this time
something.
you want me to like. Shit.
Mm. Yeah, what's the 401? I mean, my very first time hearing this song was during when we did that live reaction video to certain live performances. The one Mary J and Grand Puba did in on Yo MTV Raps. That was a good performance right there. I felt like that it's kind of like they were like playing off each other throughout the song. It was kind of cute.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
but
what you're
it
saying.
was a very dope track. Yeah, and for it to be the title track at that, it speaks volumes. Because sometimes when people be having title tracks on their albums and stuff, some of it come out sounding good or decent, and others just comes off horrible, just flat out awful. But this one right here came out came out phenomenal.
And Fabulous also took this beat to use on the Street Dreams album, and he featured Mary J on that track as well. Kanye did the beat. I love the beat by Kanye, but I don't like that rendition that Fab tried to recreate with Mary J on that track. Though it just wasn't the
Mm,
same.
Yeah, never like I said. You know
mm-mm.
how I feel about Fabulous.
Yeah,
So, right. So overall, this was a very dope album in my opinion. Very classic album. It's like I said, it begun the whole hip hop soul movement and shit like that. Mary's voice was
Mm,
definitely top notch around this time too and stuff like that.
mhm.
Production was very dope. I love the production on this album too. Like I just always felt like this album alone is synonymous when it came to like East Coast and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, just the final nail in the coffin when it comes to bridging the gap between hip hop and R&B. And I would definitely give this a 5 out of 5. It's a
Definitely.
classic. It's an influential album. Everyone knows about this album and shit. And even like the remix album is highly recommended too. You know.
This album is groundbreaking in so many ways. Like she totally changed the game with this album and being able to have to be in R&B and to sing over like a hip hop beat. That's something that wasn't really done before. And Mary, that's Mary's lane, and so many people you hear, whether it was a Shantae or or even Mariah, because Mariah wasn't even doing that at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best, Beyonce. You hear any female singer, any male singer that was singing over hip hop beats. Mary really started that. You know what I'm saying? And the production was great. Puffy was in his bag. You know what I'm saying? This is before Bad Boy. You know, he wasn't even like a big star at that time. He was still like an intern at Uptown MCA. And you know, to be a new artist and on the scene, and you got a legendary artists like Busta Rhymes on your album and Grand Puba, and to do a rendition of a classic Shaka Khan song on your first album, and Shaka Khan gave you the cosign, you're doing something right. And we knew that at that time, even back then, like, yo, like, maybe he's gonna be special. She don't sound like nobody else out here. No auto tune, none of that shit. Like, just really real singing. And this is a groundbreaking album. Like, this is an album where I could play with any of the hardest hip hop albums, whether it's Cuban Link or Illmatic or Into the Woo, Midnight Marauders, Doggy Style, Chronic. This was in my heavy rotation with all of those albums, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was that dope. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was an R&B album, the production on it was that dope, and it played like loud in your speakers, and it was your speakers were like knocking. And these are the type of albums that I love, that I cherish. So it's definitely a classic to me. A 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. Definitely my top three R&B albums of all time. So spoiler alert: when we do that R&B episode, it's gonna be in my top three. It might be number one. You know what I'm saying? But definitely a classic. My favorite Mary J album, along with My Life. I think those are her two best albums in her discography. And you know, the 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 fashion, like she was dressing like a dude and she was making it look sexy in her with the Doc Martens and the Tims, the fitted hats, and just a sexy, beautiful woman with a beautiful voice. And that's like one of my favorite female singers of all time. So definitely a classic album, and it's groundbreaking in so many ways, yo. Like I don't think we would get Beyonce Dangerously in Love if we for this album. Like, this album set the trend for everybody else coming after that. So any of those albums, those R&B albums you hear with hip hop beats on it, Mary started that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, man. Great, great album. Remix album is just as great too. Probably like my I want to say like my second favorite remix album. 'Cause I do love the BBD remix album. I think that was great also. But you know, not everybody can do a remix album. It's hard to top, you know, your hit single with a dope ass remix. And you know, but back in the '90s, the remixes were great. So definitely a classic remix album in my opinion. And to have like Craig Mack, Biggie, and Heavy D, and all three of them are not here no more. Like, and you got Kenny Green who was writing for her from intro. Like, she had legends on this remix album. Definitely a classic remix album.
Right.
Yeah, it's so surreal knowing that Mary J. Blige has been in the music business since '92 and still putting out albums. That speaks volumes to who she is as an artist and as a woman, and just just an all around phenomenal human being. And yeah, if it wasn't for Mary J doing this album, you would not hear a lot of the other artists that Try just mentioned just now, like Mariah and Beyonce, Ashanti, and whoever else came in after her, you know?
Right.
Because not a lot of people pull off the sound the way Mary's been doing since '92, and for it to be being her debut album and with so many hits coming off it, that definitely speaks volumes to what she's capable of and is still capable to this day. So yeah, you got timeless hits such as Real Love, Love No Limit, Reminisce, You Remind Me, stuff like that, and people still bump into those songs to this day.
Mhm.
And with that being said, I'll rate this 5 out of 5.
Facts. Definitely. All right, so that was What's the 411? That was a very dope album, of course. So I'm gonna stay on for about a couple more minutes and shit.
Favorite intro song? Let Me Be the One.
Come inside for me. Bobby Brown, Roni, or Rock with You. Ooh,
Rock with You.
I'm gonna go with Roni.
Ronnie.
Think about it, Roni.
I love this song.
Shit. Let's see. Thoughts on the Share My World album? Okay.
Great album.
Underrated
Great.
album.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Great album.
Stay tuned for that review on it. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So many bangers on here.
You said what?
So many bangers on that album,
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that album, it's so funny how that album is so slept on and shit. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over that.
Al Pacino or Robert De Niro? Robert.
Al.
I don't like all the Al's
Nero.
movies. I like some of Al's movies. More of his earlier stuff, like A Dog Day Afternoon and of course Scarface. But De Niro, I like more De Niro films than Pacino.
Shit. It's funny because Scarface is on TV right now and shit.
Right. See, look at that. You mentioned Al Pacino. Adina Howard, Freak Like Me, or Groove Theory? Groove Theory.
Yeah, tell
Oh
me,
god,
man.
that's hard.
Love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Paul.
Her only pick. I mean, it was good, but I never cared to buy her album. I always look at her like she was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now that album's like super expensive.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't know
shit.
that.
I mean, I don't want to say expensive. I mean, it's out of print, but it's like it's coveted now. And I'm like, back in '95, that album wasn't coveted like that. Like people knew who she was.
Mm.
You know.
Remember that Shaw's T-shirt in my pants?
Right. Yeah. She had a remix with Cameron. I think Cameron was on that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. She had a remix with Cameron for that.
I don't remember that.
That was like
Yeah.
'97, I think.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it still boggles my mind that Jamie Foxx wrote that song.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx wrote
He
T-shirt
wrote
and
that?
yeah,
Mm.
probably thinking about his days playing Wanda.
Mhm.
Probably thinking about his days playing Wanda in Living Color. David, T-shirt in my pants.
Cal versus Dead Dark Side. You already know what I'm going with. It's to Cal, even though at
Oh
that
god.
time the album was underwhelming for me. I think it should have been there was something missing from Tikal, but if you look at Met's discography now, it is crap. So I do feel like Tikal and Tikal 2 are like his best albums. But there, like I said, a couple bangers, but it's not a great album to me. I prefer the other albums that he got, but people love it. I think some people love it because of the infrared cover, not because of the actual songs, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Takal too.
Favorite song from Method Man? Um, Favorite song from Method Man? I don't know. Spazzola. I like that joint.
I'm gonna go with Retro Godfather from That's in
That was dope too. I like that one also. That was dope.
What are the most shady record labels out there in your opinion?
Mm.
Uh, Shady
Quality
Record.
control at the moment.
Who?
the label that Migos in. Every
Oh,
label is basically suing.
Mm.
Priority Records was shady.
Atlantic too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Favorite male vocalist. Um, don't
Ew.
kill me. I love R. Kelly. I'm just saying. I
Hey,
love the R.
hey, R. Kelly, man, he
R.
can get
Kelly.
down with.
I don't. I would, who if or even if R. Kelly was locked up, who's really taking his place right now? Not Chris Brown.
Right. No.
Not Trey Songz.
No.
You know what I'm saying? R is truly the king of R&B.
Ronnie said, New York Undercover or Law and Order.
Nick on the cover. Never missed
Undercover.
it. The Thursday night lineup on Fox back then it was Martin at 8 o'clock, Living Single at 8:30, New York Undercover at 9. I never missed it. That was a definitely a show that was needed for the culture. They have done a reboot. We still waiting for it to be shown. I think they said it might go to the Peacock streaming, but we definitely need New York Undercover back for the culture. So many artists were on that show, whether they were acting or performing. Definitely was a groundbreaking show for hip hop at that time, and one of my that's my favorite show because I wasn't a fan of cop shows. That's the only cop show I ever watched. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a fan of Law and Order. I wasn't a fan of Blue Bloods and Hill Street Blues and all these other fucking shows. Like New York Undercover was like the only cop show that I watched. So definitely we need that back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New York Undercover too.
Smokey
Smokey,
Robinson, Anthony Hamilton.
Smokey, man.
Uh, Smokey. Anthony Hamilton is an underrated singer though. Like he definitely is slept
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's from where I'm from too. So.
Right.
Hmm.
That's your hometown cat.
Yep.
That's what's up. Marquise, what up? I didn't even see you in
Yeah.
here, yo.
Oh, try? Did you ever see the new video that Anthony Hamilton put out that song "Back Together"?
Nah, I didn't know yet. Is it new? I didn't even know you had something out.
I think that song came out like a month or two ago.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to the video for it. He did an animated video
Oh
for
wow.
the song. Yeah.
Anime.
Because of all this whole COVID-19, of course,
Right,
he wouldn't have been
right.
able to put out you know.
LL Cool J around the way or doing it. Around the way, girl, definitely.
Yeah, Around the Way Girl, man.
That's so hard. Around the way, girl.
It is. Belly or Sugar Hill? Belly.
Belly.
Rolls Royce, I'm going down on Mary J version of I'm going down.
Man,
Mary
come
J.
on. Yeah,
I
Mary
like Mary
J.
J version. Tell you the truth. Case Missing You or Musique Soul Child Love. Missing You.
Missing You.
Case.
Yeah. NCIS, I wasn't into that. My mom is into all those cop shows. I never watched that stuff. Like I just wasn't
My mom and I, we watch NCIS.
right. I don't
Mhm.
care for cop. Like I've been harassed by cops, so why would I want to watch a cop show about cops that harass black people? I just never, you know what I'm saying? New York, if it wasn't for the hip hop element for New York Undercover, I probably wouldn't watch that either. But because they were dope and they were like, dressing as everybody else at that time and having the artists on there, they had a soundtrack for the show. That's never heard of a TV show having a hip hop soundtrack. So,
Oh
that
wow.
that's why it was so popular with us. But I'm not a fan of cop shows, so that's not something I regularly would watch.
Right.
Well, NCIS, it deals with crime within the Marines or in
Right,
the Navy. So
right.
yeah.
Favorite character on Good Times? JJ.
Oh,
Jay.
He was a star.
yeah, he was.
To me, it was James and shit.
James was a star.
Oh, man.
He was my favorite.
The dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah, he was mine too. Because in some ways, he reminded me of my grandfather.
right.
Yeah, I remember that one episode when James beat Michael's friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you must be crazy. Oh my
You
god.
know, in black families that the parents don't play that.
Right. Yep.
For real.
Even if
He
they
was
weren't
like,
their
oh,
kids, they still
I
gonna
like
whoop you. Even if they weren't your kids, they're still gonna whoop you regardless.
Right. Your neighbors will do that shit
They're
too.
gonna end up telling your parents anyway.
Yep.
I don't want to see that.
Man, man, I got some stories about that. Crazy.
Mm,
Favorite gangster crime movie?
mm.
New Jack City. Gangster as in mafia or gangster as in street? I'm going with New Jack City. That's my favorite.
That's a hard one, to be real with you.
Um,
I mean, there were a lot back then, man.
That's a very hard one.
God, Piece of My Love or Goodbye Love? Piece of My Love.
Goodbye, love.
Peace and my love.
CB4 or Fear of Black Hat?
Wait, what?
Fearful.
CB4 or Fear of Black Hat?
Mm.
I don't like either. But I,
CB4, only because I remember seeing that more than once.
I don't like either. I got the soundtrack with CB4, but the soundtrack is better to me than the movie.
Ain't that a shame?
Yeah, that's how it was sometimes. The soundtrack was better than the movie.
Right.
Um, I missed the Mary Jane question. In my house or all night long? All night long for me.
All night long.
Janet got that iron. Oh yeah, I remember when Penny got burned with the iron.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I knew what child abuse was.
Yeah.
When she
I
got burned.
wasn't really too familiar with that until I saw that myself
Right.
too. So yeah.
I was like, wow, they do that? Parents do that to their
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Casino. I don't think he meant. Favorite De Niro movie. I love Casino. Casino was great. Goodfellas was just as good, if
Oh,
not better. But I like the costumes in Casino, like
Bronx Tale.
the suits that they gave De Niro, like he was matching with his socks. His boxes was matching with his socks. Everything was matching. Like his handkerchief and the blazer was matching. The tie was matching. He looked like a real gangster in that film.
Who would
Look
go
at the
through all
wardrobe.
that? Like,
Huh?
yeah, like who would have like meant to make sure everything is matching, including
Was
his
matching.
underwear?
I mean, that could have been the director. It could have been him. Like everything was matching. I'm like, this dude is
Yeah,
like dressed to the
but
nines.
what man you know would do that?
He was dressed to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like a gangster. You know.
Mm,
Uh, Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, or I Can't Help It. I Can't Help It.
I
Love
can't
that
help
song.
it. Yep.
DMX, Rough Riders Anthem, or Party. And Rough Riders, I never like Party Up. Never cared for that. It's a big hit.
I like
I
both
love
of those, but that's hard.
Red
I like
Light.
both of those, but that's hard. So to me, I have to go with Rough Riders anthem. Only
I could
because
go.
I heard that.
How could you go against Stop Drop? Shut them down, open up shop. That's fire.
I've said I like both Rough Riders anthem and Party Up, but for some reason Party Up kept getting more radio time when I was coming up.
Right.
And then to my dad and I, we first heard Rough Riders anthem in the movie Down to Earth. So
Favorite Eve
it's a favorite
song.
of his.
I love
Mm,
what's that song she
mm,
did with Styles P? That's How It Is, I think.
mm.
It's
Yeah.
Drake produced it. That's off the Scorpion album. That shit is fire.
I like Who's That Girl? I like the song she did with Gwen Stefani, Blow Your Mind.
Love that,
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah,
Fire.
I like I like the song that she did with Alicia Keys, Gangsta Lovin'.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Favorite documentary. Tribe Called Quest documentary by Michael Rappaport. I love that.
The Last Days of Left Eye.
That was good too. That was good.
that's a hard one. Maybe on top of my head, the Onyx documentary, that 3 hour shit.
I gotta see that because you it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
on
I gotta
YouTube.
watch that. I gotta watch that. Gangstar Outcast.
Gangstar.
Gangsta.
Oh shit. Okay,
I
actually,
love
Gangstar.
Outcast.
Okay.
I love Gangstar. I think Outcast. Well, I don't want to say that 'cause I think both groups have solid discographies. You know, Outcast coming from where they came from and not getting that respect from the country. I think they had a lot more to prove and they did it. And that's definitely one of the best duos ever in hip hop. Um, yeah, Busta Rhymes. I mean, hopefully, Marquise. Hopefully, the Busta Rhymes album is good. I've been hearing about this for like 2 years already. Hopefully, it drops and we're not disappointed. And we need Busta back in the culture. We need Busta relevant again. We need him dropping those hits like he used to. And I'm excited. I want to hear it. Definitely hope it's a good album.
Shit. If Eminem and Nas can drop some dope shit this year, then I have faith in Busta.
Well, I'm gonna lean more towards Nas than the Eminem album. Even though it was more vintage. I mean, I don't want to even say vintage. I see signs of hope for Eminem. I just put it like that. I see signs of hope. The Nas album was decent. It's too early to tell where it's gonna be placed in the discography, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not like Illmatic good, which nothing will ever be, but I'll put it
Right.
up there maybe with like Godson so far.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's decent. I'm comfortable with that. If he's still dropping albums in this at this day and age, and it's decent, that's all I can ask for. Right? No, nothing will ever top Illmatic or It Was Written or all these other classics that people seem to forget about because they just feel like he just have one classic album, which is not the case.
Right.
So if he can just add decent albums to discography now at this point, that's all I care about.
All right, y'all. I'm about to end it off for the night. Um, so this week we still gonna do like the whole Patti LaBelle Burning album and shit like that.
Okay.
Um, Lauryn Hill on Try's channel, of course.
That's Tuesday night at what 8 o'clock? That is 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 o'clock. Lauren Hill, Miseducation album discussion. It must be done. Doing it on my channel. Reg and Ashley is gonna be here on my channel, so look out for that.
All right. Next Sunday we're gonna talk about murder music from Mobb Deep and
Yes.
shit like that. Cannot wait for that one. So HNIC is coming next month, y'all. It's
Yes.
coming next month.
Long awaited. They've been asking for it.
Right. But yeah, man,
Definitely.
I cannot wait, man. Definitely. So
Yes.
thank y'all so much for watching this review. Gotta call my mom before she
Peace
goes to
out.
sleep.
Peace out. King, Marquise, Ronnie, everybody that showed up.
Yes. Good turnout today. Make sure y'all cop this if y'all can find it. This is a landmark album, and not just in hip hop or R&B, but in music in general.
Yes.
And the remix album too, which remix album two. Yep.
Yes.
All right. So thank y'all so much for watching. Hope everyone has a good night. Peace.
Peace out.